Yes, guys, welcome back to another stream. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well, man. Make sure you're smashing up the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel as well. And let's get some shout outs, and then we'll bring in the amigos. Bring it a big up to my name is ITK Martin Silvio. Connor's in the building. Built to Wazzo, Rodrigo, Subhotty, Widya, Formidable, Stefan de Bender. Built to Dash. Who else have we got in here? Built to Itchy Goat. C Heaven, Sean, Karl, built to Dill, Jess, the Oxycan, Bradley, Marshy Boy, built to Lauren, Norman, built to Daniel, Viraj, Mahmood, Fee, Gillis, built to Brub, Danny Reacts, Joel, Stephen, Sam, Justin, and many, many more. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Make sure you guys are smashing up the like button. First guest that I'm going to be bringing on today is Mr. Tone. Look at the snap, bro.
Yes. Get it,
Who you got on the back? Who you got on the back? Who you got on the back?
No one.
Too old for that. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool enough.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not cool. You clearly are, though. Who have you got?
Oh, come on. You had to ask me that question, Tom. You really had to ask me that question. You really think you do? Come on, man.
I can't think who you'd have.
Are you being serious?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I know you like Mahrez, but he's gone. Oh, yes.
Ilkay Gundogan.
Of course. I apologise. Oh, it's been a long week.
That's cool, man. You all right? You good?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I didn't get bloody Oasis pre-sale bloody code, did I? So I'm peed off with that. No. But otherwise, I'm good. Are you all right?
Yeah, I didn't get one either. I've been spamming my refresh button, but I ain't got one either, man. I ain't got one either. Now, look into the show. Big up for jumping on. Guys, make sure you're following Tone on Twitter, at MCFC Tone. It's time to bring in the third amigo. Is he wearing the same kit?
He better add. Is he?
Come on. Boo.
Oh.
Bro, what's going on, Martin? You let the side down, mate. What are you doing, mate? Come on.
I unlike you two, I save my shirts for match days.
The Friday show comes first, mate. You know what I mean?
No. I'm getting my own back. You blocked me last night.
I did block you last night.
You blocked me. You went a bit OTT last night.
I did block you. I then unblocked you, to be fair.
No, you did.
No, yeah, I blocked mine. I blocked him on Twitter.
LB was doing one of his drunken rant streams. So he's celebrating his birthday, by the way. Happy belated. And well done on the 20K. But he was having a celebration, so he was pulling up all videos. So I sent him one of a fan cam that I did. And at the time, Gundo was not playing. You remember when Gundo first came in, he was a bit slow and he wasn't quite there.
Right. Yeah.
I made a comment. Obviously not knowing what was coming 4 years down the line. And LB lost it.
Martin suggested. So Martin, I'm going to put it to truth here. Martin suggested that we sell Ilkay Gundogan.
Oh,
and I thought, whoa, what is this? I lost it. I accept I lost it.
He lost it. He went off.
I lost control. I agree, and I unsubscribed to the YouTube channel and blocked him on the social media.
Me on Twitter.
God, bloody hell! Well, how long was that into his City career? Then did he want him sold?
It was about 18. It was. I think it was when he just come back. You remember when we got beat by Wolves at home 2-0 when that Adama Traore just
Traore.
Do you remember
that? My birthday, that. Yeah.
But you remember the midfield?
2019. 2019.
No, I'll tell you when it was. Do you remember when it was Plodry and Gunderslow? And we had that midfield and they weren't gelling. That was where we were at. And I wasn't the only one at the time. But unlike that, he proved me wrong.
Yeah, no, it was 2019.
And I own up to being proved wrong. But at the time, it was Rodri was Plodry and Gundogan was Gunderslow.
Yeah,
I've not heard Plodry one.
No, it was Plodry back in the day. There was Plodry, you know. He was. I remember that two that of Gundogan and Rodri, and at the time it was awful, man. Like, I don't know why.
As well, and it was just like,
I don't know what was going on. It was very strange. It was a very strange time. But anyway, we're friends again. I've unblocked him. I followed him, and I resubscribed to his YouTube channel. So
I told you he's had that shirt on, by the way, for 4 days. Not taking it off.
It's not coming off, mate. I told you I wore it on your show last night. I'm wearing
That's
it
not
tonight.
a shirt, it's a tattoo. It's a full body tattoo.
I'm going to the garden centre after this. I'm still wearing it, and then I'm wearing it out tomorrow. It's not coming off. Be stuck on, like you said, tattoo.
Hey, just wait till
Happy
we get
belated
to
birthday, LB.
Woohoo.
Cheers, Tony. Yeah, Frank said LB slandered Mahrez in that final season a bit, but we're not going to talk about that. Bro, I never done that, man. That's a lie. That's a lie.
We've all done it. No, we've all done it. We have all
Spreading
slandered
misinformation. Mods, time this guy out, man.
You
That's a
two
joke,
both
by the way.
need timing out hammering our players. Bloody hell.
Right. Well, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about it's deadline day, lads. It's deadline. In fact, before we do that, can I just get your reaction to the Champions League draw? We got Champions League draw yesterday, and I didn't speak to either of you about it. What was your views on that? Because we've got a couple of tough games, but we should be chill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go.
I'm very relaxed on it. Very happy with the draw. I'm not even. You got to remember, the Italian teams are not the Italian teams they were 10 years ago. Juventus are not Juventus, and Inter Milan is not even the same Inter Milan anymore. PSG away is probably. It's more for me the away trips because you go into these hostile atmospheres. I'm more worried about the whole thing than the actual 11. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. We'll get through.
Yeah, I think we'll be chilling, and like just we've got to make sure you get into the top 8 in it. You know what I mean? So you got that automatic qualification. But yeah, now there's some tasty games there. Juventus away, Milan, PSG. There's some decent games, and then you got a couple maybe tricky away games like that Bratislava one in Slovakia. That could be tricky. I don't know. But, I think, it's a decent draw. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, like we're more than capable of going through that. And all we have to do is get into the top 8. It'd be nice to win the league, get number 1 in the league. That'd be pretty cool. But ultimately, you don't get a trophy for that. So, just got to make sure you get into the top 8.
I will say, I did see something funny on the show yesterday. Someone put in the chat, how many go through then? He said 8. He says, there's only bloody 9 in the league. So we've only got to avoid it. Now you bloody fool. There's one league. Yeah. It's, we should be all right. Yeah.
Do you actually, what's your guys' opinion on the new format? You like it?
Yeah, I do. I was on your show last night, Martin. I do like it. I think it needed a bit of a freshen up. There's better games, bigger games, even at this early stage. It just needed something because it was boring. The draw was boring. We were playing the same bloody teams, pretty much. Shakhtar, Dortmund, and Leipzig would have probably been drawn against this year if it was the old format. We'd all be sat going great. I don't know. I just quite like it. A bit of a freshen up.
Yeah. Why don't you like it, man?
I need to see it. I need to see it for this first year, see how it comes out. Because the thing is, if it does what it says it's going to do, and we get all these exciting games and it looks good, but didn't like the draw, thought I was watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Didn't get that.
It was a bit mad, wasn't it? It was very
press the button and all the fixtures are there. That's not suspect, especially with UEFA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was weird. Did you all see that? It was Sociedad and Arsenal stuff, that Instagram post out about 6 weeks ago.
No.
Did you not see it? There was an Instagram, someone shared it around of Sociedad and Arsenal. So it was either a supporter of Sociedad or someone from Sociedad had put a post out with Real Sociedad versus Arsenal about 6 weeks ago. But this is what you're gonna get, these conspiracy theories where you just press a button and bang, the fixtures are all there together.
Yeah.
But I want to see it in action. I want to see it in action. I want to see if because if it's the same 8 teams going through, then why change it?
But it's not just 8 teams going through, is it? You got another.
Right. There was a fan on last night from ours who was it a Braga fan? Remember Tony? Was it? And like he said,
Bruges.
Yeah, Bruges. They can't drop down to the Europa.
Yeah, but that's good anyway because they value the Europa League competition.
Not for them because they know they're not winning the Champions League.
But they might win the Europa.
They might win the Europa.
But that's you can't really do that. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna. That's not how sport works. You know what I mean? Like I think not dropping down into the Europa League is better because it devalued the Europa League because you just say, we'll just take the teams from the Champions League and put them in the lower. No. That's not how it should work. So
depends what you're in it for. You're in it for the money. We had this debate last night. Are you in it for the money? Are you in it for winning the trophy?
I don't think you should. I don't think you should be able to go in the Europa. I've never liked that rule anyway. It was kind of like a second chance, especially for big team flops like United, who are so bad that they drop out, but then they get in the Europa as a bit of an exit. And I don't like it. You're either in the Champ League or the Europa, and that's it. And that's tough shit.
I think it's a prelude to the Super League. I know where we're going with it, and that's part of me where I'm a bit against it. I know where we're leading to. It's a warm up to the Super League.
The actual Super League, though, wasn't that bad. It just needed tweaks, in my opinion. It just needed to be tweaked a little bit. Like, it wasn't... Yeah. It had a decent framework, and it was pretty interesting, but it needed to be tweaked because, something that I didn't like yesterday is how Leverkusen won the league but weren't in pot one. Not that I don't know if that makes too much of a difference anymore, the pots, but... like, because it's now done on coefficient, because that's another thing everyone's been saying. What's the point of having coefficients? Well, now actually having a good coefficient is important because it gets you in the top thing. But yeah, now listen, I think I'm with Tone. I think the Champions League was getting a bit dull. I think it needed a change, and I think this is better. You got a couple more games. You're going to get more exciting football matches in the group stage, and ultimately, you've got a pretty good chance of getting to the next round. If you come in the top 8, you're already into the next round. And then so long as you're not in the bottom 10 worst teams in the league, you then go into a playoff that's a 2-legged game to get you into the next round. So it gives these clubs an opportunity to get into it. Unless you're in the bottom 10, and in that case, you don't deserve to be in the next round anyway. You have a good chance of getting through to the knockout stages. So I actually think it's good. I think it's a new, exciting tournament. And I'm sure there'll be things that we come to the end of the season and say, we need to change that, we need to change that. But ultimately, I think this is probably one of the best things that they can do in this current format, unless you go back to how it used to be with the champions, which obviously they're not going to do.
I think it was a bit better part in our show last night, which I didn't even think of. I think the Champions League will be better near the end. You'll get more excitement at match day 7 and 8. So it's going to role reverse because people don't realize you're going to get goal difference making a massive thing into this.
Yep, 100%.
So you could end up with teams in week 7 and 8 just going for it.
Yeah,
which will make it that's what I will enjoy. I think you're going to get because I do think you'll get a slower start out the blocks possibly now from teams. Yeah, you might do it later on down the line.
I think a lot of people look down on the Super League, and for various reasons, and probably rightly so. But I think they think it's replacing the Premier League.
But it will. I think the Premier League have already said it will, Tom.
But how?
That's been signed in by the UK government.
I thought they said it was to work alongside it. So you have
the Premier League said you can't do that. That's what the laws are coming in. They've brought in say you can't do that. You can do the Super League, but they're not going to allow you to do both.
Yeah, unless UEFA do the Super League themselves, and in which case
UEFA have to do it. They can't create a new league.
And UEFA will do it because UEFA will do what the club wants. You know what I mean? So yeah. But listen, it's going to be interesting. I think it's better. I think it's going to be. Karl just put it in the chat as well. There's going to be more opportunities for younger players and academy players, fringe players to get minutes because there's more games. So for the better teams, if you get off to a really good start when you first 4 games, then you're pretty much guaranteed to finish in the top 8. You can then start playing your McAtees and the Nunez's of this world and those sort of players, and same for every other club. So listen, I think it's good. I think it's fresh. You're going to get better games in the group stage. And I also like the fact that we're not playing the same team home and away, because I just felt that was unnecessary, I thought that was a bit dead. So yeah, no, let's see how it gets on, man. But it's interesting to hear your guys' takes. Right, okay, let's move it on then to transfers, guys. By the way, make sure you are smashing up the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribing to Mancunian Way as well. Link is in the description, guys. Make sure you check that out as well. It seems, guys, that our business is done. About a week ago, it was looking really likely that City was going to go into the market for a striker. We've been linked with Kyogo, around 22 million quid. Then we got linked with that guy who plays at Copenhagen, from David Ornstein, Bomber, but then he said we wasn't making a move. However, now we're being told that City's business is done. We're not going to be bringing anyone in. So that means we're not going to have an Erling Haaland backup striker. And if he gets injured, it will be a false 9 season unless we put in an academy striker, which is unlikely. Thoughts on this, guys? Are City making a mistake? Is it a risk? Is it a gamble? Do you back the false 9? Would you buy a striker if you was, in charge? Tone, let me come to you on this one, bro. Is City making a mistake here?
No, I wouldn't say a mistake. I'd say a risk. I think I wouldn't say they're making it's certainly a risk. Look, we've won a title with a false 9. Pep loves the false 9 because it's even more control on what is already about 70% anyway. So I'm not concerned about it, but there is definitely a risk element. But the problem is getting the striker suitable. I don't like the term backup. Squad fine. But I know I've said it before, but backup to me just means they're not good enough and they'll sit on the bench for 6, 7 months. I would rather. It's difficult. I thought the lad from Copenhagen, I don't know much about him, but I thought that one was quite interesting because he was quite young and could develop. So I was quite on side with that one. The chap from Celtic who's 29 and so on, I wasn't so much with that one just because of his age. It just seemed a bit strange. It didn't really seem to tick the boxes of what we would normally go for. And to me, the youngster would learn, develop. The other guy would just be sat on the bench. He's never going to play. But, even if Haaland got injured, Pep would still probably rather play a false 9 than that lad or another striker, whoever you get in. So it is a risk, but I'm not worried about it at all because the squad is brilliant. I think it's 23, 24 players. It's just spot on.
For me, it all just depends on how bad the injury is, right? Because if Haaland gets an injury, he's out for a couple of games, I think that'll be fine. We can get through that. If he's out for maybe 2-3 months, I think that's where it'll start to get interesting. But yeah, no, listen, I'm not thinking it's a mistake. If it was me, I probably would have, in the end, I would have signed someone. Yeah, if it was me, I probably would have signed someone. And the only reason I would have signed someone is because the type of player that you needed to get in would have been pretty cheap. You don't have to pay a lot of money because you're not buying a world-class player. You're just buying a backup player that can just fill in for the odd game for Haaland. So the wages would have been pretty low as well. And if Haaland now gets injured and the false 9 doesn't work, I just feel that a lot of people are just going to be sitting there going, why didn't we just buy a backup striker for 15 mil, 10 mil, 20 mil? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's a risk. I don't think it's a mistake necessarily, but I think we're all, if Haaland gets injured and the false 9 doesn't work, I think we're all going to be sitting there going, why the hell did you not just buy a striker? So I would have bought someone if it was me personally. Honestly, I would have got Dzeko in, man. Everyone kept on laughing at that shout, yeah. Nah, everyone laughs at that shout. Right, I see you both. Why though, bro? He would have come in.
Because it's not 2012.
Yeah, but bro, I'm not
you've got very giddy with the Gundo stuff, haven't you?
No, I've not got. I have
giddy
got
with it.
Nah, but I just don't understand why it's such a bad shout.
Because he's nearly
but you could just stick him in the penalty area and just kick the ball in the net.
Give me
if we'd signed Dzeko, who would you have on the back of your shirt if we'd signed Dzeko the same day?
I might try and get a Gun Dzeko or something. Gun Dzeko.
LB's gone down the reminiscing road, hasn't he? He'll be getting David Silva out of retirement next.
Should never.
His replacement is David.
No, but my point is. No, my point is there's players out there that you could have probably got on the cheap that would have loved to have worked for Pep Guardiola, loved to have played in the Premier League.
You say that, but it's like the Kyogo deal. I got told us today that deal died the minute that it was the guy who left for Brighton.
Matt O'Reilly, who's now injured.
Yeah, that killed the deal.
He's now injured.
Celtic weren't allowing 2 out the door. They weren't going to allow 2 to go. So as soon as he got done, that was it. I think I got told that died.
Yeah, I got told. I think I text one of you or both of you. I never remember who I texted about it anymore. But on Sunday night, I was told they weren't doing anything else, and a few others were told saying. A couple of people tweeted it that we weren't going to do anything this week. They were happy with the squad. So when I woke up Monday, and there's a couple of people going, "We're going to spend this. We're buying." So I said, "Hey, where's this bloody come from?"
It was. Today's going to be about loan deals for youngsters like the Ndai. Well, or selling. You might get the McAtee extension announcement at some point today.
What do you make of that? That's a big sign of confidence in McAtee. So 2 weeks ago, Pep Guardiola came out and said, I don't want McAtee to leave. I don't want him to be sold. I don't want him to be loaned. He says, I need him for the small spaces. That's what Pep said. I thought that was a very, very strong sort of compliment from Pep Guardiola to McAtee. And now we're hearing that City turned down approaches of 30 million pounds in this transfer window. And I'm pretty sure one of that was from Chelsea, right? Because I was told from a very good source that Chelsea were one. What do we make of this? Because a lot of people have ruled McAtee out as a City player. A lot of City fans don't think he's good enough. But you got Pep Guardiola saying he's good enough and wants to keep him. You've got the club turning down 30 million pounds worth of bids for him. Surely City fans now are going to have to back this guy and give him a chance. I think he's a great player. I remember watching him in the academy with Cole Palmer, and they were very, very close in terms of ability and impact on the game. I think give him a chance. Yes, I think he didn't do too great in the preseason. He didn't sort of like absolutely smash it, but at the same time, he never really stunk the gaff out. And so for me, I'm willing to give the guy a chance personally. I think we should. I think we should do it. I think we should look at the mistake that we made with Palmer and say, let's just try McAtee to make sure we don't make another mistake.
I think you're spot on. I think that is what the thinking will be. Look, honestly, if I was in charge and someone said 30 million for McAtee, I'd be pretty tempted. I like him. I think he's good. Is he City level? Based on what I've seen, no.
I'll really stick a cat amongst the pigeons here. This is what I got told. Pep's belief in McAtee is in the way he is in the pockets, like you just said. He thinks he's got David Silva ability in him.
Well, he's got the same. That's his position.
That's why he doesn't want him to leave. It's just close to David Silva since David Silva.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the same type of profile of player that he is. He is a David Silva style player. Has he got the ability? Clearly, at this moment in time, no. But how many people, though, Tone, said, about Cole Palmer that he wasn't good enough? Do you know what I mean? And then he's left and gone and tore it up at Chelsea, man.
Yeah, no, and I was one. I'll admit, I was one who was. He looks good. Is he that good? Not so sure. The question with McAtee is game time this season. I know he says he's not bothered. I'm still a little concerned by that statement. I will admit, you're 22, you're not 17. You should be playing, and he needs to be playing. And he may well do, like you said, bit of Champ League if we're, doing well 4 or 5 games in, bit of the Carabao and all that, and maybe the last 10, 15 in a league game if we're 2 or 3 up. He may well get enough game time, but I don't know. I'm mixed on it. 30 million's pretty good money, but then for the squad, I would keep him for squad. But 30 million's pretty decent money, to be honest, based purely on what I've seen. But Pep knows far more than I do, and if he thinks he's one for the future 11, then he is one for the 11, and clearly he's got a huge few years ahead of him.
Yeah, no, I think I'm excited about it, man. Like for me, I mean, give him some Champions League games, give him the FA Cup games, give him the Carabao Cup games, and give him some minutes towards the end of the games. Maybe start him in the odd 1 or 2 Premier League games, just like he did with Oscar Bob last season, and see how he gets on. Ultimately, right? I think for McAtee, if he wants to make it at City, I don't think he can be loaned out again. I think he has to try and show Pep on the training ground and show Pep when he gets given the opportunity on the pitch that he is good enough to be here. Because, as much as I don't fully agree with, if you're loaned out, Pep don't rate you. I don't fully agree with that, although there is probably an element of truth in it. It gets to a point where you have to show Pep directly on the training pitch. And I think that's the point that McAtee's got. He's probably looking at it saying, listen, yes, I'd like to be playing first team football every week, but I want to be playing at Manchester City. So what I'll do, I'll have this season, I'll give it my all, I'll train super hard, and when I get on the football pitch, no matter what game it is, I'll try my best to influence the game. And at the end of the season, if Pep goes to me next summer, listen, mate, like you've not really made too many inroads to try and get in my first team, you ain't really got at that level, it's probably best for you to be loaned or sold. Then he can go. It's 1 year that didn't quite work out, But the potential reward is that he really impresses Pep and he ends up becoming a City player for the next 10 years. So I think this year it's worth McAtee taking the risk, staying at City, because if it works out, the reward is insane. And if it doesn't work out, he'll just be sold to a Premier League club next year anyway. So, I hope that it works out for him. I like him as a player. He smashed it in the academy. And I just think we should just give him a chance. And I'd also say this as well, At the moment, we've only really got 3 proper creative players because, you could have Gundogan is one, right? But in terms of out-and-out attacking players, it's Foden, Kevin De Bruyne and McAtee. They're all our only 3 proper attacking midfielders. De Bruyne's probably going to get injured at some point this season. Touch wood, it's not too bad, and hopefully he doesn't. But he's probably good. That leaves only Foden, who's played a lot of football over the last couple of years. So I think McAtee this year is going to get a lot more minutes than everybody thinks. I really do. Don't be surprised to see him get some proper serious minutes. If Pep rates him, which he clearly does, he'll play. And I think he'll play a lot more than people think.
Just wait to get to the Nunes part then. What I sent you earlier.
Yeah, you did send me.
Because Pep, by the way, the board, don't know if you heard, I think you heard the same time, the board were willing to let Nunes go. It was Pep who put the kibosh on Nunes going out the door.
Yep.
Pep stopped Nunes going. Pep wants him. So this is what I mean. Pep wants these players. We just got to. Anyone's earned the trust, it's Pep. He's clearly seen something. Let him go with it. People got to realize Pep likes bringing in the young players. He wants to do that. I don't get this thing of this. We're buying super. We've never been the club that bought the big tier players. We'll do it when we're required. But we'll sprinkle it around with Foden and Rico and and others. O'Reilly, they've got big plans for. It's just it's what Pep wants to do.
Nah, 100%, man, 100%. Big up to Amar says keeping McAtee is a mistake, not getting a sniff. I don't know, man. Like I say, I think it's worth the risk. I really do think it's worth the risk. And for McAtee, I think it's worth it for him. Go on, Tom.
No, I was just going to say the Nunes one's interesting because one of those two are not going to play enough. In my view, both of them aren't going to play enough minutes because they're just not. I don't see it. I know people go, there's more bloody games, but the squad's still got 20 odd players in it. So I'm not quite seeing it. So I mean, what do you two think? If one of them, if you had to pick one for tomorrow, who would you pick? Or it's tomorrow we're playing it. Yeah, tomorrow. McAtee or Nunes?
Yeah, it depends on
what I don't know who's going to pick because, like I said, the news I got was it should be good if you're in form, you stay in. That's the plan at the minute. I mean, obviously there were certain games where they'll change it up, but if you are in form, it's basically he's gone to it. And I think we saw it the first 2 games. He made no changes first time in 80 odd games. It's if you're playing well, I ain't dropping you.
Nah. The thing is though, right? So on the Nunes thing, like. My opinions on it. If he wants to stay, he can stay. Like I'm not asked, but I still don't think Nunes is going to play that many games this year. I really don't. He'll play Carabao Cup games and FA Cup games. He'll play very little Premier League matches.
There's a reason Pep's requested he stays, though. That's what I mean. That was Pep's choice. Pep said he wants him to stay.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but at the end of the day, there's only 3 midfield positions on the pitch. And he's not getting ahead of it.
You told us all summer there was a 70-game season coming up, so they've all got games.
No, but this is a bit of a myth, though, isn't it? Right? Because at the end of the day, right?
That, you won't call me a liar.
Nah, at the end of the day, right? Yeah, the Club World Cup's at the end of the year anyway, right? So it's not in the middle of the season like it was last year. And I just think like for Nunes, he'll play FA Cup, he'll play Carabao Cup, and he'll play the dead Champions League games. But he ain't going to play any serious Premier League match. He ain't going to play any serious Champions League match. So I've been very consistent. If he wants to stay or Pep wants to keep him, fine. I ain't bothered. I'm not anti-Nunes. I just don't think he's going to get any minutes. He's not playing against Rodri. He's not playing above Rodri. He's not playing above Kovacic. He's not playing above Gundogan. He's not playing above Foden. He's not playing above Kevin De Bruyne. They are the facts. They're the facts of the situation. There's 5 players in that team that he's not getting ahead of.
But I understand what you're saying, but think of it this way: trouble is, as fans, we look at it as, because I made the mistake. We look at it as, if you bring, I done this all for last week. Say you drop Rico and you bring Walker in, right? Everyone thinks it's a straight 1-for-1. It's actually not, because then technically, if Pep wants to play a certain way, you've got to change your centre back pairings. Because you look at what he does with Rico. Rico goes into the invert role. So if you drop Walker, you put Walker at right back. Are you going to play a Kanji and Diaz? No, because you might need to then put Stones in to invert. Do you understand what I mean? So one change can also have a domino down into the actual 11 then.
Yeah.
So I suppose I think you're going to see different combinations a little bit. I think you'll see little combinations for certain games and certain positions and certain formations.
I'm still not seeing where both of them get much time, especially Nunes.
After no time he said that.
Yeah,
I know you said that.
McAtee's willing to take the risk and just whatever time he gets, in his mindset, he's like, I'm just gonna smash the minutes that I get and just work my way in to this squad. Obviously Nunes is a bit older and really should be a player that's playing a bit more. But listen, it's staying, so I'm kind of chill with that. We kind of knew this was happening anyway, guys. But Pep Guardiola, he's doing a press conference right now. Has just said Manchester City are expecting a very quiet deadline day, says Pep Guardiola. But he also said, go on, Tom, what are you saying?
No, I just wanted to say, you say we know that, and some didn't. It's still bloody rattling on. I've seen late bid for Ivan Toney and all this sort of waffle.
No chance.
Sorry.
No chance. Yeah, he's also just said Rodri and Mateo Kovacic are now much better, while the rest of the Man City squad are okay, with the exception of Phil Foden. Do we know what's wrong with Foden?
Yeah, I think, well, I don't want to speculate too much. So, but look, what is COVID apparently? And he may have COVID. It may do. That's what I was told yesterday.
I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it, because I didn't want to say it. So I'm glad you went with that.
As I was saying it, I thought, do I want to say it? Look, I don't know if it's not 100%, right? It's just
what we were texting last night on whether do we go with it or do we not?
Do
we not?
Okay.
But apparently it's right. Apparently it's rife again at the moment. I know a few people have been really.
Everyone's got it, man. You know what I mean? Everyone's got it. The 7 boosters didn't do the job. It is serious. But
don't start with your anti-vax campaign. Here he goes. We'll be doing another midnight stream about this and having to delete it.
Yeah, I'm only playing. But this is the thing. This is the thing, right? Luckily, we're getting away with it at the moment because we've only got 1 game a week, so Kevin De Bruyne can play. That's fine. But hopefully, Foden's back after the international break. Because once the international break's finished, we're going to be playing a game every 3 days. So we really need Foden back then. McAtee might have to step up real quick. So it's not too bad that Foden's not here right now. And actually, the fact that maybe he can have a little bit of a rest is probably good. You know what I mean? But we really need Foden back after the international break. So then we're not playing Kev every 3 days because we can't really do that, in my opinion. So that's not too bad for me. Rodri, we've had this conversation in the past. Would we play him against West Ham this weekend? I think if he's training, I'd probably play him. I have considered this multiple times about whether or not we should rest Rodri this weekend to give him a really long break. But I just think West Ham's going to be too tough of a match to take that risk. And it's unnecessary risk to take. We need the 3 points. We need to get off to a good start. So for me, I would personally play Rodri. Do we know how long he's trained for, lads? How long has he trained for?
Yeah, he's been full training since Wednesday. I'm going to say Wednesday, and he'd been doing light work since last Friday. So he's had a week, like not full, but he's certainly had a full last day or two, I believe.
3 days training. It's not a lot, really, is it?
I wouldn't. I'd take him with the squad, but I wouldn't start.
I think he'll be on the bench, but I don't think you start.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
He only came back Wednesday, Thursday, because they had Monday, Tuesday off.
Yeah.
But they were it was either Sunday, Monday they had off, or Monday.
That's right.
They had 2 days
Sunday,
off.
Monday.
Came back, yeah. So he only came back Wednesday. So
here we go. We've got some more news from Pep Guardiola here, guys. Pep said, "We're happy with the squad. He said, we didn't expect Julian Alvarez was leaving. Well, I don't know, because he had conversations for a long time with his agent, so it could happen. But you always think he's going to stay. But in the end, it happened. And then he said, he was asked who's going to be the backup to Haaland. He said, in 2 or 3 months, Oscar Bob will be back. Phil Foden can play in that position. And McAtee, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva.
There you go then. Yeah,
So,
there you go. So that's
McAtee plans.
He has got McAtee plans, man.
Yeah, look, if he didn't have it, Pep's definitely got a plan. If Pep really said to Chicky or whoever, look, get me another bloody striker, end of, he gets one. He clearly doesn't want one. The club don't feel they need one. And that's why he's got a plan. And we won the league with false 9.
Yeah,
No
people
worries.
need to get. People have got this idea that it's our board stopping. If Pep walked up and went, if Pep yesterday would have gone, get me Osimhen out of Napoli, they'd have gone and got Osimhen out of Napoli for him. This is not a cheeky's put the reins on. This is Pep doesn't want anyone.
Correct.
Yeah, probably.
So I don't know. There. We've got to stop this attack on the board. Pep is the guy who is choosing this.
Chicky out was all over the place this morning when it was we're not buying anyone, get him out. Pep doesn't want anyone, like Martin said.
Yeah, well, this is what he said again on the backup. He's expanded a little bit. He says, on not signing a Haaland backup, he says, maybe it's a mistake. I don't know. But I like to work with a long squad. I don't like to leave a lot of players without playing for a long time.
That's fair enough.
He says, when you have a long squad with no injuries, they can stand for a month without playing. I don't like it. When everyone is involved with a chance to play, the performance of the team is always better. So, we all know that Pep likes playing with a bit of a smaller squad. So, listen, at the end of the day, like I said before, is it a mistake? Time will tell. We'll find out. I think if Haaland gets injured for a couple of games, I think we'll be all right. If he gets injured for a longer period of time, 2 months, 3 months, hopefully he doesn't. And then that could get it might get interesting there. But I think we've done it before. We played with the false 9 before, and I think actually because we've now got Doku and we've got Savio, I think actually we're more suited to play the false 9 because you don't really want to be playing false 9 with Grealish and Bernardo as your wingers because they don't really score goals or create chances. Yeah, you need to be playing with players who can drive in the box, win penalties, get goals. Make cutbacks to Gundogan and a part of it as well. Gundogan's an excellent player to have in a false 9 system, whether he's playing as a false 9 or the midfielder, because he gets himself into the penalty area. How many times we see a Doku or Savio on the ball or whoever, and it's just Haaland in the penalty area on his own.
Yeah,
but Gundogan gets in the box a lot.
People looking at Gundogan going, "Oh, he's old, he's slow." The one thing Gundogan's got, and you'll never lose, is this: the grey matter upstairs. Gundogan has got it. Gundogan's whole game is the brain. He knows when to be in the right place at the right time. And he will also, he's going to bring that on. People are going to about McAtee's not got no better person to learn off than Ilkay Gundogan. Stood there. When do I go? When do I make the run? Etc. Etc. He's got it all to look at.
Yeah.
And for me, I was one who thought we needed a striker, but then I thought we've still got Oscar Bob and you've got Echeverri. We don't know what's going to happen with. Personally, I think you could have a Fabio could go into that role. You've got options. People look at Oscar Bob and think winger. If you actually watch him in the EDS, he wasn't a winger.
Oscar Bob? No, he was for 2 years and then he got moved into the midfield in his last year.
He prefers the middle. When you watch
he was better in the middle, yeah. So 2 years he did on the wing.
Role. So I saw it today, people like Sterling. No. Sterling reached out to us and we said, no, thanks. Sterling's reaching out to every bugger in the Premier League at the minute until anyone takes him. And obviously them in North London want to have a nibble.
Yeah.
So, what a surprise. Yeah.
You see what I mean? It was up to LB. We'd have Sterling, Dzeko.
No.
2017.
Let's not go stupid crazy now. Yeah. I wouldn't have Sterling back. No, I wouldn't.
Would you have Mark Hughes back as manager?
Yeah, definitely, man. I definitely.
About Frank Clark.
Mancini. He wasn't a fan back then, don't worry.
No, I'll tell you, when Pep goes, if we're having Mancini in for the vibes, I'm all game for it.
You'll have no choice. We're the only place to employ him after this tribunal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Listen, let me read out a couple of these messages. I got a couple of super chats that I need to read out. Big up to everyone in the building, guys. Make sure you are smashing up the likes, man. 500 people in the building. Let's get to 200 likes. Need 15 people to hit that thumbs up button. 15 guys, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you guys are subscribed as well. Big up to JJ, man. Says Arsenal new midfielder Mikel. Oh, that Mikel Moreno. He's injured already, is he? Shit.
Wow.
That's
oh my lord. Have you seen that? Have you seen that league? I'm sorry, Gunnagoon or whatever he's called. He has been hammering that Mikel Moreno. He's like, he's their bloody choice.
Yeah, because Lee watches a lot of La Liga, man. So, like, you know, you got all these Arsenal fans who've never seen him play football and just, like, saying he's mint. And then Lee's like, I've watched him pure time. He watches a lot of La Liga. You know, he does a lot of watch-alongs for Spain. So,
maybe did you listen to Dan Potts this morning about the Neto? And they were like, we're getting this Spanish, you know, the guy from Spain.
Yeah.
Who had the buyout, and they were like, ended up with Neto. They were like, oh dear. They're not happy.
Now that's unfortunate timing, that, to be fair. Big up King Kaiser as well, says if you could sign any defender, midfielder, forward, who would it be? For me, it's Rodrigo, Musiala, Branthwaite, good potential, and have profile City likes. Yeah, so for me, forward, Edin Dzeko, midfielder, I'd probably go Florian
Nigel
Wirtz.
de Jong.
Yeah, Nigel de Jong. Florian Wirtz, and defender.
Company.
I would go. Oh, pack it in, you two, man. You grow up. Nah, I don't know who I'd go for.
This is why you do the Friday show. We don't do sense on a Friday show, you know that.
It depends who we're buying. If we're buying a chat, sorry about these two. I'm trying to be serious here, and they're just coming on joking around. Like they're not.
He's only doing this because he gave you 4 hours of absolute clownness last night.
No, defender, I don't know. A left back would be nice. You know, we're not had one for a decade. It'd be pretty cool to have.
We'll get Chilwell out of Chelsea. He's available.
No thanks. No.
That was a brother, wasn't it? Brother.
Yeah, just a quick one, right? You know, King Kaiser's asking about these players. Would you go for Musiala because he's got Musiala? Would you go Musiala or Wirtz next summer? If KDB leaves, we have to get one of them. Who would you go for?
Musiala. I've seen more from Musiala.
So you both Musiala. Okay, Musiala is sick. I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, I'd be happy with either of them, but I feel like Wirtz is more KDB style in his passing, but Musiala's probably more versatile, which Pep would like, and he's probably a little bit easier to get out of Bayern because I think he's only got 1 year left in his contract.
One Saturday, I think there's been a car crash outside my house one Saturday.
Oh God, Jesus!
Hope he's all right.
MTFC says, I'm so glad the transfer window is over. Thanks for all the coverage, lads, but I'm so glad the Bruno fiasco is over for now. Next summer will be amazing. Well, listen, City got a war chest. You know, apparently we got this war chest from 2014 that's never been spent. And, next year is going to be a big year. Like, I think it's going to be a big year because we've got serious players to, Walker's going next summer. Let's be honest, lads. Yeah, he's gone next year. KDB, good chance he'll be gone. Maybe Grealish might be gone. Maybe Walker. Stones might be gone. Like, there's a good chance there'll be, good 3 or 4 players that I'll leave that need to be replaced. So, next summer could be interesting, bro. But yeah, that Bruno G thing was well annoying. Was there a crash?
No, some guy just skidded and nicked over the wall and over the road.
Oh, okay. But yeah, big up MTFC for the donuts. Go on, Son, what you say, mate?
Oh, no, just going to say, next summer could be and should be a biggie. I think there'll be a few. The thing is, people always say, oh, refresh. And then you say, oh, well, De Bruyne, Stones, Walker, and all these guys, well, they're all going to go. Oh, they can't bloody go. They're part of ingrained with the club. So someone's got to bloody go. You want Wirtz, Musiala, De Bruyne has to go. You can't have, we'll hang Wirtz in the reserves for a year.
Hey, and we're bringing back we're getting the gang back together for a testimonial. They're all signing 4-year deals, but they're coming back for us. Yeah, you are right. We're not going to buy. So people think this refresh happens. It does, but we refresh when a year before, and we do it in bits. So, like Gavardio was 20 when we got him.
Yeah.
You look at Docker was 1920 when we got him. This is we start doing it, and I think we do it to when the event. It depends on factors: availability of players, price of the players. It's all different things. Because listen, people have got this belief, like I've said, that City don't want to. City spend money. If City don't spend money, because A, they don't think there's value in the market, and B, they've been told they don't need to do. They're happy with what we got.
Yeah,
it's so hard to. Everyone's, I'm seeing Arsenal fans melt down. Newcastle, everyone's melting down. Quite funny at the minute.
The thing is everyone's saying, De Bruyne will go next summer, but is he? I mean, look, his contract runs out, but he's probably going to extend another year. Who's to say he does go next summer? If he has a good season this season, look, he looks, I know we're only 2 games in, but he looks sharp to me, looks fitter than ever that I've seen. I don't know, I do think there will be a big summer because I think there'll be big decisions made on John Stones. If he plays 40-50% of games again, he'll be gone. Walker, I think, will go either way. I'm trying to go through the squad.
Grealish, it depends where we're at with Grealish next summer.
Same with Grealish, exactly the same. Yeah, he has to perform or he'll be gone. There's a few in there under pressure, and I think this will suit City though because there's a few with something to prove. And a few with fitness issues like John Stones, who's now on a new regime, hopefully works out for him, has a great season, signs a new contract, and then we don't need another player there. So it just depends. Everyone's saying massive summer next year, 600 mil. It might not be. It depends how this season goes.
Not just that, Tone. It's like you made a point, I think it was last week, you made a great point, LB. Rico performs this season, do you need a right back? If McAtee comes on, this is the thing, we can use this season to look at these players. Pep will look at these players and make that decision. We're always on the thing we have to. We're not Chelsea. We're not going to go out and just throw money around like it's confetti and then deal with it on the back burner. If we don't need to spend, we don't spend. But if City spend money, it's because they want to spend money. They've got the money. There's no restrictions. There's no scared of 115. There's none of this. I know I've seen it. It's 115. It's Pep out the door. No, it's because we've got a 24-man squad right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a 24-man squad. You don't hear the big squad. He's actually got one.
Yeah, I said Monday, no more signings that I've heard, and the amount of people who said it's because of the 115, so it's not though, is it? You look at the squad, for God's sake, like you just said, it's 23-24. This isn't 23-24 and about 8 or 9 a shite. Like some of the teams like Chelsea, where they've got like 58 players and about 6 are good and 52 are shite. City have got an extremely strong 20. I'm talking world-class 20, and then 3 or 4 others who are also very good. It's a great squad.
No, it is. But I do think that, like, at the same time, you don't want to go out there and spend 200, 300 million just before the 115 case where, there is a risk. And people can say,
I'm not worried about it.
No, but you don't have to be worried, right? But, like, if you speak to any sort of legal person, they always talk about risk in litigation. You think you've got the best case going. You could go to court and still lose the case because ultimately it's a court, you know what I mean? They're not always finding it in your way. So I just feel that this summer was a bit more reserved. We got the Gundogan deal in, which was a good deal because it was a free transfer. Savio was like an intra-club purchase, so we probably got him slightly cheaper as well. But I think once this 115 thing is gone, the shackles are truly off. There's no reason then that you don't have to go and spend.
Say it doesn't, because there's always that risk, by the way. I mean, personally, I think we're fine because I don't think the Premier League have got any new evidence of what you paid for that. Unless you got a whistleblower or a smoking gun somewhere. I'm telling you now, they're going to go down the email road. They're going to go down the email road and they're going to make the same buffers exactly what, and Lord Panic will do a job. I'm sorry. We're talking about Lord Panic who worked for the UK government and won. The guy knows what he's doing. Absolutely knows what he's doing. And City have done,
the best,
you've got the, like Stefan talked the other day about the shares going up and we're selling. And we're building as a business. And we're building money. You're giving Rodri a new extension, Haaland a new extension. You're going to give Foden a new extension. None of them are going to be sat there playing in League One. Do you think Rodri's going, yeah, give me a new extension?
Oh,
I'll go
no.
try again.
Martin, I've had this though, and people, and I said this, and I said the
Right,
development, the contracts, and they all said, "Oh, come on." So there'll be a clause in there that says if we go down to League Two, I get a transfer for X. It's like, look. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it's nonsense. People say about the whistleblower. Sorry, gone off on a bit of a tangent here, but surely whistleblowers are well and good, but you still need proof. You can't just have any old numpty clock in there and go, "Oh yeah, I was."
No, this is facts. So basically, someone, I think Stefan put out a case of like, everyone thinks whistleblowers are like mad, but like, you still need when it goes to court, you know, whistleblowers, witness statements on its own, and whistleblowers on their own are not enough on their own, because ultimately, if that's enough on its own, then you get into all sorts of shit when it comes to like, the companies just pay someone to say something happened when it clearly didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, at the end of the day, right, we all know the situation. If the Premier League are so confident that we cheated, prove it. And if you prove it, then we're guilty, no problem. We get guilty, we get relegated, whatever, like we deal with the shit, yeah? Ultimately, it's on the Premier. People keep on twisting it. It's on the Premier League to prove that we've broke the rules, that we've cheated. If the Premier League prove it, fair dudes, we've got to hold our hands up and go, you know, shit, fair play. You know what I mean? Like, we get relegated.
Beyond doubt, by the way. There's got to be no doubt.
No, of course it is. It has to be beyond doubt. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, we think they might have done it. We go relegated. No. You've got to be like,
Put me
it's got to be like pretty confident that they've done it, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, if they can prove that, that's it. You know what I mean? We get relegated. We hold up. We put our hands up. We hold the L, right? City obviously are there to defend themselves, but the onus is on the Premier League to prove that we did what they said we did. And this is where in the media it's got twisted, and everyone keeps on going, why haven't City done this? Why haven't City done that? Why is it? No.
Yeah, it's now guilty and prove innocent.
But it's not up to City to prove that. It's up to them to prove that we did that. If they prove that we did that, fair play, and we got to hold our hands up. It's not up to
not just that, LB. You got to think of, like Stefan has said, there's also appeals process here. And I don't want to go on it. I want to go. But think about it. These appeals could take a long time. Are we going to not sign players for the next 2 years then?
But he also said that the appeal is very limited, and you can only appeal it if you basically think that the independent panel haven't done the job properly. You can't appeal the actual outcome. You can only appeal it if you think that they fundamentally got something wrong.
Yes, personally, I think City would appeal. I don't think the Premier League would.
Well, no. I mean, City are going to appeal it, right? If City get found guilty and get relegated, that you might as well appeal it. You got nothing to lose at that point. But I agree. I think if the Premier League lose, I very much doubt they're going to appeal it. Because then it's just like, because then if they lose that again, they're going to look like idiots.
You're talking 12 months because it's took 2 years to get to the hearing, and that's 10 weeks long. And like Stefan said, some murder cases are down to 10, 11 weeks long.
Yeah. It's a serious
thing. It's not an easy thing.
The best way Stefan put it was the web of deceit thing. I think that was him. And I listened to one of his pods or spaces or something where he said it. And he was saying about the web of deceit and everyone being involved and everyone being guilty and proving every single person's guilty, not City, but Etihad or whoever. All these auditors are complicit. It's just a mad one. It seems to me, and I know nothing about law, this is based on what I've heard from people who do know, is that Premier League are bitten off more than they can chew. It seems to be the impression that's coming out of, I think Stefan said the same, that's what he expects. He just doesn't see how they can prove this. Again, I'm sorry if I'm misquoting him, but that's what I'd
like. No, that's what I've heard him say. I've heard him say the same thing.
How would you get Etihad and Etisalat in? Because they've not been called to the party. Surely they've got to see their books.
But they don't have the right to see their books. But the thing
that's
is,
the point, LB. So where are we going with this?
No, so City will probably have statements from the CEO at the time, the CFO at the time.
Yeah, they'll do what they did with Cass.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like again.
Problem you wait for that.
Well, this is
in brick walls.
Listen, Martin. This is why the wording that City used in their statement when all this popped up was very interesting. They used the word irrefutable. Yeah. Irrefutable means impossible to deny or disprove. So here's the situation. City say, Etihad did this, yeah? If City then get a statement from the Etihad CEO at the time, and this Etihad CEO says, that is absolute nonsense, that never happened, which is basically what he said when he went to the Court of Arbitration, which again, no one actually speaks about. Yeah. Unless the Premier League have actual physical proof of transactions, which basically means bank transfers, how are they going to be able to disprove that? If the CEO of Etihad or the CEO of another company is saying to them, that did not happen. Sheikh Mansour did not give us the money for us to wire it into Manchester City. That did not happen.
And that's
all he needs to say. He doesn't need to go into no more details. Because like Martin says, you know, the Premier League don't have the right to request the books and accounts of another company, a random company in Dubai, mate, or Abu Dhabi or whatever. So then the question is, again, we go back to this question, how does the Premier League prove it? Now, maybe they've got a whistleblower. But again, you know, I've seen a case that Stefan put out there where a company was alleged to have done something similar. They had a whistleblower, and the judge still found in the favour of, in this case, the club, because whistleblowers on their own are not very reliable. Especially when you got to remember, guys, we're talking about something that happened in 2009, 2014. This is a long time ago. I don't know if you've ever seen that Mike deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, is he called Mike deGrasse Tyson, guys? The scientist guy who's always. He's an American scientist guy. You know, talks about space and shit, yeah. And he spoke about witness statements, right? And he said witness statements are some of the most unreliable stuff. NASA have done like studies on it. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah. He's done like they've done Neil deGrasse, yeah. They've done what's it called? Like studies at NASA. They said witness statements are some of the most unreliable things ever. Yeah. Ever. And like that's why he said he was asked to go to a jury in America, and he said, no, I don't want to go, or something like that. He said he was asked to go to a jury, or he was asked to give a witness statement or something, and he declined. And he said, I cannot do it because I know that whatever happens, I know that it's not true, it's not accurate, because like the brain don't work like that. So yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Basically, you could get sacked, have a disagreement with a former employee, try and be a whistleblower. That's what I mean. And this was the exact problem. Like you just said it perfectly. An email saying something, you then need the outcome after it to prove it. And if you read the full 93-page CAS document, the chief exec of Etisalat, the chief exec of Etihad, one of them was called Hogan, was all interviewed. Also, and Stefan made a great tweet months ago about his. Well, the Premier League also has to answer some of this on their due diligence, because where their due diligence for 10 years been, they've failed in the process.
Yeah. No,
they've not done their job properly.
No, 100%, man. You know, it's not just them as well. Sheikh Mansour even said to CAS, this is not true. Yeah. This didn't happen. He said this. It's in the CAS document, which no one reads. So again,
knows like me.
Yeah, so it's like, is he just outright lied to a court? This is the thing, man. It's like, I feel like the media in this country have been very, very one-sided in the way that reported this. And I have absolutely no problem in anyone reporting the case against Manchester City, because ultimately, that's fair. But nobody other than basically City fans have put out the counter-argument. No one does that. You never hear someone on TalkSport say, right, lads, what we're actually going to do today, we're actually going to look at the City defence and properly tell you what happened at CAS, rather than the lies and the fake shit, you know what I mean, about the time bar. Well, what about the other stuff that wasn't time bar? What about the stuff that, you know, when CAS said 12 times that there was zero evidence of what UEFA had alleged? UEFA had charged us and said this happened. CAS said 12 times there was no evidence of it. That wasn't time barred, but no one speaks about that. So, like, it's been very, very one-sided. Very one-sided.
That doesn't sell, though, does it? What sells is getting the bitter Liverpool, United and so on fans on their shows ringing in when they say we're guilty. You see a few weeks ago where they said, oh, yeah, the results coming up and all this sort of thing. All the headlines were City could be relegated 5 divisions. City could, Nothing about the Premier League could be made to look complete tits. Obviously they're not going to go with that headline, but something similar to say they're going to look complete morons and the whole league integrity is going to go if City win this thing. So it's all one-sided, because that's what sells. It's we are the most talked about club on the planet. There is for this reason. By far, Real Madrid United, nothing.
Most watched, that was proven. Most
watched as well, and that's it. We are without doubt, no matter what anybody says, the fastest growing, most talked about club on the planet. No doubt. Everybody talks about us. Arsenal fans wake up in the morning thinking of Pep. Your rags go to bed thinking of bloody empty seats. I don't know what, we're in the minds because we're the best. It's as simple as that.
LB, I'm going to send you a text in a bit saying that I'm going to lend you. So I'm going to say to you, it's like you sending me a text, Mike, you lend me 50 quid. That's it. That's the only text you got. You've got no proof that 50 quid went anywhere. All you've done is ask me a question. I've not responded to you, not said yes, I've not said no, not said, that's what the Premier League got to prove.
Yeah. But but Martin, this is why doing investigations off some leaked, hacked emails is very dangerous, because you enter in this situation where you've not got the full context. You have a certain number of emails. You don't have the full context. You might not have the full email chain. You might be missing vital bits of information, vital backstory, or vital stuff that happened maybe in person or on a telephone call that without it looks sus or looks dodgy. And this is the problem when you deal with shit with hacked emails. For me, like I feel very conflicted. I can't lie about hacked emails, because ultimately, if you get information by hacking someone, and that information shows that maybe they've committed a crime or something, on one hand, I'm like, well, then, yeah, you should be able to use that because, it's proof. But at the same time, you enter into a very, very, very dark place when you start going down that road. Like, I've said it many, many times. Like, what would stop City now, hiring someone and just saying, go and hack every single Premier League club and just find data? Because if they've done it to us, we'll do it to everyone and we'll just bring the whole thing down. Like, and you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use hacked emails, because on one, I am a little bit like, yeah, maybe you should. But at the same time, I'm also very aware of the dangers of opening yourself up to that, because then where does it stop? You're dealing with billionaires, right? Billionaires don't like losing. And if they feel like they're being attacked, what would stop someone, at the club or someone in Abu Dhabi paying one of the best hackers around to say, go and hack every single Premier League club, go and hack Real Madrid, go and hack Bayern, go and hack Premier League? Because you're telling me they've not done something dodgy over the last 10, 15 years, because they're going back to 2009 now. So if they're going back to 2009 for us, we can go back longer than that as well, or even back to 2009. So that's when you start opening up the can of worms, man. Very dangerous. But at the same time, I'm not saying that you should just not do it, because I do think it's tricky. Maybe you're doing it on a case-by-case basis. Who depends on who. I don't know. It's difficult. It really is.
I want to know more about this COVID let-off that United have had that no one else seems to have had. Now, whether that's the club's
that's never been investigated yet, has it?
No. Well, I'm still waiting for the United fans going in on the pitch and all this and getting that game with Liverpool called off. I still now haven't seen anything, unless something they've been fined or something that I'm not aware of.
Well, don't forget, factually, United did fail FFP,
as did Liverpool.
But did anything?
Liverpool were the first. Yeah.
Liverpool hacked our thing, but then we got punished for it. No, you're not getting the point. It's not about the punishment. It's the fact is nothing got said about it. You get away with it because of who you are.
Liverpool got away with it because he had Hicks and Gillette. They sulked that one off. Oh, we've got bad owners, boo-hoo. So have loads of bloody teams who've been punished. But they still got punished. Liverpool cry it off. Oh, well, look at these plonkers we got in charge. Oh, well, we'll let you off then. Imagine if that was just, throwing out Bolton or someone like that. It's tough shit, mate. It's who's there. That's the club. Tough. Liverpool, no problem. We'll let you off. But fact is fact. Man United and Liverpool both failed FFP.
I'm going to be really intrigued what happens with Chelsea down the road.
I think we all know Chelsea.
I don't know how they're getting out of their issues.
Well, you can only sell so many hotels and car parks before you got nothing left to sell. They sold the women's academy. They sold the women's club.
You're selling their underwear next.
Yeah. Bro, they sold the women's football club to get past FFP. Like, at some point, you got nothing left to sell, man. So, I'd be very surprised if they get away with something like,
Real Madrid sold the training ground to the King of Spain and got it back for the Euro or whatever it was.
Yeah.
We can go down all these dodgy deals.
Unless City win this APT thing, and then Chelsea might go, told you we don't give a shite anymore.
Yeah.
We'll spend what we bloody want.
But this is what happens when you bring in these financial rules. People are going to try and get around them. And if you get around them like by just getting around the rules, like at the end of the day, if Chelsea's done anything wrong by selling the hotels, no, they've not. They comply with the rules. That's not Chelsea's fault. That's the Premier League's fault for not covering the ground on that, for covering that side. Is it Chelsea's fault? Have they done anything wrong by selling the women's football club to get around FFP? No. Again, that's the Premier League's fault. They should have put that in the rules. You didn't want clubs to sell the women's club to get around FFP. You should put that in the rules then. It's not their fucking problem. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you put a set of rules in, you need to make sure them rules are watertight. And clearly, evidently, the rules are not watertight because teams are getting around it like that by selling other assets. You know,
I'm laughing at sub 2's comment. I'm like, that's to the point where Chelsea might end up.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know where they're going to end up, but something's definitely going to happen with them in the next year or so.
Part of me admires it, though. Part of me admires Chelsea just going, I couldn't give a shite about your rules. I don't care if we broke something, if we haven't, if we're spending too much, we'll go and buy who we want, when we want, because we feel we've got the resources around us. Tough shit. And part of me loves that, because why not? You know what I mean? Why should they have to abide by the bloody cartel-led rules? No one should.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, Mad Hatter, the thing is with Simon Jordan, when I listen to him on TalkSport, clearly he always fucking tries to cook City when it comes to these FFP rules, But he I've heard him talk about FFP in the past, and he said it a few times that FFP is a mess. The whole thing stinks. And you think it is all going to be sorted after the 115? We're going to get this for years and years and years and years.
Oh, never end. We're always tarnished.
Yeah, no, but it's not just us, though, Martin. Like, other clubs are going to have to deal with this as well. And like, you got teams like Everton who are constantly getting punished, and now you get into the point where it's like, well, if you get punished once, should you get punished again the same year after? Because if you failed if you've had a really bad year, that's probably going to mean that your next 2 years, because it's a 3-year rolling period, that means you could get screwed for the next couple of years. So then it's like, well, am I getting done every year for one bad year? What about, if you have a business, sometimes you get a bad year. Like, is that right that it then affects your next year after that and then the year after that? Like, I don't know, man. For me, it's kind of like, I just think it's a little bit
weird one, because, like I said, I think listening to Stafford, he said he doesn't understand how Everton have got away with what they're doing at the minute. I know they've sold a player or two, but they still spent money. Forest are just going wild at the minute with bids everywhere. So it is a little bit of teams just thought, screw it. But then you get the other side of the spectrum, Newcastle, who are doing now. Arsenal were promised all this money. They've done nothing. They brought a midfielder and a backup left back. The 2 areas of the pitch they didn't need.
Yeah, but
to be fair,
they don't care about it. They don't want to win, man. If they wanted to win, they would have gone and spent the money. They're not arsed, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Liverpool have spent 10 million quid.
Yeah, but Arsenal have spent 800 and whatever in 5 years, mate. I mean, it's not like they've not. Maybe this summer, but they've spent money, Arsenal, and they've won.
No. I'm just mean of the. I think this summer is the summer where people have got a bit scared, because last season the Premier League showed teeth for the first time. They showed teeth for the first time. It's like poor Leicester City don't even know where they're even at yet. They've started the season and they don't even know what's going to happen. So unless they're getting points on the board for a deduction, or they're getting points on a board, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, it sounds like they're going to get a points deduction because they preach. So, they will get a points deduction. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is it. You know what I mean? And it's difficult. It's difficult for, I just think the whole thing is just stupid. It really is. And I just think, like, for me, I just think this is never going to be fixed while these rules are in place. These rules are crap, mate. Like, they don't work. They just evidently do not work. You know what I mean? It's stupid. And they I said this the other day, they gaslighted us for a decade to try to tell us that, oh, these rules are in place to protect the clubs. Yeah, to protect the clubs. When we knew that wasn't true. We knew that was gaslighting. We knew it was a lie. And now you're starting to see the truth, because now they want to do shit like, oh, we're going to anchor your total spend to the bottom team in the league so it's competitive. Right, so it is then to stop people spending money. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with protecting the clubs from going bust. Nothing to do with that whatsoever. That was a lie that you put out there to justify implementing the rules. These rules were always to stop clubs coming in, spending money and overtaking the top clubs at the top, of which now City are part of. So these rules now benefit City, yeah, because obviously it makes it more difficult for the likes of Villa to spend, the likes of Newcastle to spend. These rules are now good for City because we're at the top, yeah, but they're not good for teams that have aspirations of truly competing. And what it does is it gives excuses to teams like Arsenal, teams like Liverpool, maybe United, maybe not now that they've got this new owner, to not spend and justify it on FFP. And they just go, nah, we don't need to spend. We can't spend because of FFP. That it gives them excuses because they don't want to win.
Is there a club in the Premier League, when you look, apart from really West Ham, who've spent? Wolves have had to sell their 2 best players. Don't know if did you read the Gary O'Neill quote? I think it was last week. He said he already knew weeks before that Neto and Kilman were gone. They were gone out the door, and he knew that. It was just because they were trying to get deals in to cover it, and they couldn't do it. But if you look, there's not really. Palace have lost 2 of their players. Potentially, could still lose. We don't know what's going to happen with Gay. They lost Elisa. I don't see this. Oh, they're trying to compete. Who spent to compete?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. A lot of these clubs don't actually want to win, bro. Like, they're not arse. A lot of these clubs are turning into profit-making machines.
The part I was making to Tone last night when he put his accountants out.
Yeah, no, a lot of these clubs want to just like make money and you know, they want to grow the Premier League brand.
What's the trophy now? Because it's money.
Yeah, no, of course it is, man.
With next spend trophy, why not? You know, add it to the
figures as well. Yeah, did they ever think that by bringing in these rules, clubs are now just going to start flogging academy players because it's better for them? Is that good for football? That clubs are now just selling academy players? Because I don't know, man. When I was growing up, it was always
Ndala's gone.
Yeah, Ndala was always going to go, man. But this is the thing. Like, this is the thing with the FFP. It incentivizes clubs just to sell academy products rather than actually playing them. That's what Chelsea have done with Conor Gallagher. Did they actually want to sell Conor Gallagher? Probably not, but they needed the money, so they went, "I will sell you because it's straight profit."
Yeah, but they didn't have to. I get that they treated him badly. They didn't have to treat Chalobah and Gallagher like that on the way out.
But they've obviously got themselves into a mess where they needed to sell players and they needed to sell academy players.
Yeah,
but force them out of the door.
You don't kick them down to the youth academy, so you don't have to disrespect them.
Well, you know, Martin, you do if you're desperate for the sale.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you're desperate for the sale because you need the money in, otherwise you're going to fail FFP, and the player's like, "No, I don't really want to leave," and you're like, "No, I need you to leave." No, no, right. Well, I need to show you that you're fucking leaving, so I'm going to put you in the trade. So then you treat them like shit. So the player goes, "Oh right, shit. They actually really want me got. I'm going to have to go then." Yeah, is it right? No, but that's the environment that they've created by putting.
Yeah, I get that, and like I've always said, billionaires and trillionaires and all this, you know, they step on people's heads to get to the top. They're ruthless people. You don't see a rich, you know, person who's the nicest person in the world. You've got to be a bit of a twat to get rich because you've got to step on people to get, you know, make tough decisions.
Yeah. Nah, 100%. I agree. Just before we bring this show to a close, Pep also spoke about Rico Lewis. He's in for a big season this year, Rico Lewis. He said this. He says on Rico Lewis's England call-up, he says he deserves it. For him, I'm so happy for him. really happy. He also says on Kyle Walker, who's obviously been dropped from the squad, guys. If you've not seen that, Kyle Walker has been dropped from the England squad. He says when he'll be back to his best, he'll be soon. Always is an incredible weapon for the national team to be used because he has specific qualities that is really needed by Man City. And he said this as well, which was an interesting. He says, what Rico Lewis gives Manchester City, Kyle Walker cannot give us. And what Kyle gives us, Rico cannot do it. That's what it's all about. Not a big, long squad, but everyone pushes each other. So this is why...
different looks.
Yeah, no, this is why I always said I wouldn't have sold Kyle Walker this year. I'd keep him around the squad. I still think for me, Rico Lewis would be my number one choice in most matches this year. But I'd keep Kyle Walker in for the exact reason.
I'm gonna start recording your shows back. I'm gonna start doing it. I'm gonna start.
Why? What have I said now? Go on. What have I said now? Go on. Go on. What have I said? Go on.
Let's go back a few weeks, right? This summer alone,
right?
You flip-flopped to Edison and Ortega.
What? Well, what do you mean? No. I'm going to.
No.
Okay.
You're flip-flopped. You Walker 1 minute you love him, next minute you're not. You're not keen on him so much. Nunes, now you're on board. Come on.
Right. Whoa. Let me address those one at a time. Okay. First of all, Nunes. What have I said with Nunes?
Panic buy. Not
It was a panic buy.
And you want him gone.
It was a
the
panic
new
buy.
Yaya. The new Yaya.
No, that was just joke, though, wasn't it? No, yeah,
that wasn't. Thank you. Club World Cup. Go back to
I was just joking around, bro. I wasn't being serious. Don't take that shit serious, bro. It was a watch along, man. You know what I mean? I was just saying stuff. It's funny. You know what I mean? No, Nunes, it was a panic buy. Are you still trying to tell us that that wasn't a panic buy?
No, because you don't scout a player for 3 years. Panic.
No. You can scout a player for as long as you want.
Do you research a car for 3 years, then go back and go, it's panic buy, bought the car?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he was a panic buy. I just don't think he's first choice.
Was Matthews Nunes a panic buy? Yes or no? We missed out on Bellingham. We missed out on Rice. We missed out on Paqueta, and we bought him in the last week of the window.
Because they're not keen on Nunes.
No, you can put your biases and opinions to one side. It can still be, it was a panic buy, man, 100%. And what? So
you're not saying the right thing. You're saying, was it the correct buy? Then we've got a debate. Panic buy, and my point is, you don't do the amount of scouting and research we did. If it was a panic buy to me, is oh crap, who do we buy? Right, just name out of the hat. That's a panic buy.
Okay. Right, with Nunes, I've been consistent with Nunes for a long time. I think he should leave because I don't think he's going to play. But I'm happy for him to stay if he wants to stay. Like, I'm not bothered about
that. Pep.
Okay, Walker. What have I said on Walker? Chat. Have I not said all summer that I would keep Kyle Walker, but he wouldn't be my number one choice? I've said that all summer. I've never said once I'd sell him. I'd said I'd keep him, but he'd be my backup option. I'd start Rico Lewis.
I'm sure you said a couple of weeks back, sell him. Rico should be the number one now.
No. I said Rico should be my number one choice. I never said sell him. I always said keep him as a squad rotation option.
Someone said loan him, but it wasn't LB. So I was on a show and someone said loan him.
Right, I take that one back. I apologise on that.
Okay, so that's been debunked. Right, what was the first one? What did I say about? What did I say, Edison and Ortega?
Edison and Ortega. You've got to admit, you flip-flopped on Edison and Ortega.
Well, what did I flip-flop on? Go on, tell me.
You said this was you pre-season. Ortega after Tottenham. Oh, get him that signing, get him that contract. We've got the two best goalies in the league.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Then Edison starts doing his little grumble. Am I in and I'm out? Am I off to Al Hilal? Am I off to Al Nassr? Right?
Yeah.
And then you were like, no, let him stay.
Yes, correct.
Then pre-season, couple of clangers.
Yeah.
First 2 games, couple of clangers.
Yeah.
And you went, and I quote, Eddie, you're not helping me, mate. You're not helping me.
Yeah, I probably did say that.
Your exact words.
That's not me saying sell him, though, bro. That's just saying you're not helping my argument when you make mistakes.
No, my point is, you did to Ortega what you were accusing people doing of Edison.
What did I do to Ortega?
You destroyed him.
Destroyed him? What do you mean he's not played? When did I destroy him?
Put in this chat right here. Tell me, was LB being fair with Ortega?
Why? I don't know what I've said about Ortega. You've not actually told me
he wasn't good enough to be our number one.
I don't think he was good enough to be our number one. That's not destroying him. That's not destroying him. I don't think McAtee's good enough to be our number one.
120 charges. LB's added 4 more.
Bro, I don't think Ortega is good enough to be our number one. I think he's an excellent number 2, but I don't think he's quite good enough to be our number 1. That's not destroying him. That's not destroying him at all. I think he's the best number 2 goalkeeper in world football. I think he'd walk into most teams, but I just don't think he's quite good enough for Manchester City to be our number 1. And I felt like people...
Mygan, I remember.
No, I didn't. Never wanted to buy him. I spoke about him.
Oh, no. Yeah, right. No, I might have got... I was in America at the time, so I don't
know. Yeah, so that's not destroying him. It's the same with McAtee. I don't think McAtee's...
I'm only playing chat. I'm having a bit of fun.
Yeah. No, chat. We do this every week.
LB banned me last week.
Every
banned
Friday.
Me last night. He kicked me out.
Yeah. No. It's the same with McAtee. I don't think McAtee's good enough to start right now, but I still keep him in the squad. So, Anyway, we debunked everything that Matt
just said. What would you do with O'Reilly then, Bob? No, yeah. What would you do with O'Reilly?
I'd keep him in the squad.
I'm intrigued on that.
I'd keep him in the squad, EDS, first team. Difficult season for him because I always think that's the hardest thing to do when you're training with the first team, but you're playing with the EDS. He didn't really play a lot of football last year. He didn't play a lot of football last year. He had bad injuries, so he didn't really play a lot. So yeah, I'd keep him in the academy, and then potentially decide what to do with him next summer.
No, because I'm just talking. Maybe this is me. I think O'Reilly would have appealed. Would have got more benefit out of going to a Premier League club, maybe like a Wolves or.
It would have been a big step up for him because he didn't really play that much last year.
Manchester City's an even bigger step, though.
No, it is, but he comes into a team with a lot better players, so where he could drop a stinker and would still win. You know.
No, that's true. No, I get that. I just think there's more pressure with us. I'm only talking a season, not talking for them. I mean, just like Kabori's gone to Benfica for 12 months.
That's a big one, that, by the way. If he does well at Benfica, there's a chance that he might be the next right back, like, you know, after Walker.
For Walker,
Andrew's got a good point. Brighton might have been a good move for O'Reilly.
Yeah, well, Brighton's a good team for any of our players to go to because they play good football. You just want to go to a team, that plays good football. You don't want him sending them, like we did with McAtee, to Sheffield United.
And the run right as well.
Yeah, you need to be sending these players to them sort of clubs.
You've been trying to sell McAtee. This one up there told me 5 weeks ago McAtee were getting sold.
Toll's got stocked in McAtee. He's got a dividend.
He's got a McAtee agenda. I just love every City player.
LB's got a Walker agenda.
Well, that's what
Bevel's even said that.
Yeah. He says, "Hey up, lads. LB has a Walker agenda." Only joking. Hope you had a good birthday, right? Yeah, man, it's good. Big up, man. Big up. Yeah, no, listen, it's interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on Kabore this year at Benfica. I want to see how he gets on because if he has a good season, maybe City will see him as potential. We don't need to buy a new right back.
Am I right? Did Benfica sell Silva yesterday? Didn't have that Andre Silva go to, was it Leipzig last night?
Sure. Did he? Didn't see anything.
I'm just thinking.
I didn't see that.
I'm with you. I'm really intrigued on that Kabore right for Benfica. I think it's a brilliant move.
Yeah,
it's a big club who are going to have big expectations.
Europe as well.
Yeah. And with due respect, it's a step up from Luton. I don't mean that in any disrespect to Luton. It's a bigger step.
Yeah, definitely is. I think if he does well, he'll be the new right back or in the squad, and Walker will go again. Save money. There you go.
City don't make many mistakes. We've got to remember this. I always look at like Borges. There was a lot of thing about Borges, remember, and it was the other one, the other winger we had.
Do you know what? When you said Borges, I was trying to think. Is that
Mabude?
No, not the guy was old. It was a bit of a apparently a troublemaker.
Sancho.
No.
Mabude was the other winger when Borges.
No, it wasn't Cake. You know the guy I mean now. Went to Udinese in the end.
It wasn't Moreno, was it? Marlos,
no.
Whatever he's called.
What my point of making is City don't. You can count on one hand City's mistakes. City don't make mistakes usually.
Calvin Phillips, Benjamin Mendy.
Jaden Braff. Thank you.
Braff, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Braff. Yeah, I remember Braff. Yeah.
Yeah, but when they were here,
but when Braff
City have made it.
Yeah, what's Sancho done since he's been gone?
Yeah, well,
no, 100%. No, 100%. Yeah. And we didn't want Sancho to leave anyway. We wanted to keep him. He just didn't want to stay. What can you do in that situation? That's not a mistake letting him go anyway. Even if you
were going to count on more than one on there. Go on, name them. You started reading them off then.
Benjamin Mendy, Nunes.
Mendy's a bit harsh.
I was going to say Mendy's a bit
harsh. That's harsh, that.
Are you being fucking serious?
Yeah, but up until injuries, he
did his cruciate.
He just got an
ACL. I mean, under Pep, you can't include Boney and Mangala. They weren't Pep signings. You can't go back to like 1994.
Lee Bradbury,
Jerry Craner.
The thing is, as well with this one, Brahim Diaz again. We probably didn't want this guy to leave. So if we didn't want him to leave, it's not really a mistake, is it? If you don't want him to leave, you know.
Can't believe you just said Mendy.
I still say
harsh. What you just said.
Mendy's harsh. That one. Yeah,
that's harsh.
Yeah,
snapped his cruciate in like the fourth game, and you're like
Crystal Palace, wasn't
it? Yeah. Bravo, I'll give you. Bravo. Phillips. Nunes for me is too soon to make any decision on. Palmer. I'll give you Palmer.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Palmer wanted to leave. So is it a mistake? The mistake there was that we didn't give him adequate playing time on the right-hand side of the pitch.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that was we didn't.
That was the
but
mistake.
for who? But for who? Who then misses out? Because if he comes out and someone else misses out,
No,
I'm not saying it because we know the guy who replaced, and I'm not starting World War III in the chat.
No, I think Palmer was good all parties. I do not. I've not even for a split second thought, "God, that was a mistake." I just think
Morgan
it's good
Rogers could be one. That's a good. Is Morgan Rogers one?
No, but bro, I watched that guy in the academy, bro, and I never seen what I'm seeing now.
He's burning for Villa at the minute.
I know he's burning for Villa. When I watched him in the academy, bro, I never seen a player like this in the academy. Never. This is why the academy is a bit of like a. It's you can get bargains, man, because Bob. I remember Bob when he used to play on the wing. Ask what's he called? Is he called Martin? I forgot his name now. The guy who does the City Academy on Twitter. Ask him what Oscar Bob was like on the wing.
Oh, Man City reserves and yeah.
Bro, ask him. He watched all the academy games. Bro, the guy was like, didn't do nothing really. He held the ball other than that, never did anything. And then he got moved into the middle of the pitch. And oh my God, then he was like cooking out like Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Borges, and you look at Braff Borges, Indala's a great one. They've all been brilliant in the EDS. But see,
the Lavia one's an interesting one because if you actually think about what City did there, right? City looked at Phillips and went, right, we can buy an English international for 40 mil. Now, I never rated Phillips. I never thought he's a good player, right? But they thought, right, we can get this guy in, good on the ball, 40 mil. If we sell Lavia for 12, 15 million quid, whatever it was, put in a 25% buy-on clause, we think he's going to be sold for 30, 40 mil in the future. That's another 6-7 mil. You end up going to get 22, 23 million pounds for Lavia, who's played one match for Manchester City. You're going to spend 40 on Phillips. Net on that, because he did it in the same year, is around what? 18 mil. So they probably looked at it and went, we structure it like this, it's actually not too bad. The thing is that they got wrong is that Phillips was never good enough to play for City in the first place, in my opinion, because he was too slow. You know, he can't cover the ground in this system.
My initial, was it Wickham? I remember it being Wickham, sure he played against in the cup. And it was a night game. And I remember Lavia playing. I turned to my missus and I went, he looks like Bambi on ice. He looked like a rabbit. You know when you get that rabbit in headlight look? And I think the trouble is with Lavia, because here's my thing. He went to Southampton. We had a buyback. We didn't execute it. We had a buyback on Douglas Luiz. We didn't execute it. I mean, one I will give you, I think Angelino might have been a drop one.
What, bringing him back or selling him?
Yeah, but bringing him back, because was that maybe done for a profit? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't think that was done for football reasons. I think that was done for...
Yeah, but he played him, didn't he? Played him probably more than what... Because I remember him playing at bloody Anfield and going, whoa, where are you going? When he was flying up the wing.
This guy's had so many transfers in his life. It's actually insane. Yeah, so basically, right, we got him back. We got him back for... Wait, how much did we buy him for?
11. Was it 11?
12. We got him for 12 from PSV Eindhoven. We loaned him to Leipzig. We got a 2 million loan fee, and then we sold him for 18 million. So, you know, we basically made, what, 8 million euros?
City don't tend to activate buybacks.
No, because as well, the clubs that are getting these players now are cottoning on and saying, well, we're not having a 12 million pound buyback in here. If it's going to be a buyback, it's going to be 40 mil, 50 mil, which then makes it, you're only really going to buy the player back if they're absolutely mega. Because, you know, clubs are realizing that the market's gone crazy for these younger players. You know, you're not gonna spend 10 mil on a City player to put a 20 million pound buyback in when
someone said it earlier, Chelsea are going to end up making profit on Palmer. I don't think Palmer will be at Chelsea in 2 years. I think he'll be gone.
Well, very possibly. But it depends
I mean,
on how
it depends
they
where
do.
Chelsea.
Ton of money though.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
They need to be playing Champions League football. If they're playing Champions League football, they'll probably accept it for a few more years. But if they're not in the Champions League, he might say, "Oh, I'll
He'll
leave."
probably go to his bio club like someone put in the chat. United.
Yeah,
they're
but
not
they
in the
could be in the
Champions
Champ League.
They're not in the
Yeah.
Champions League either at the moment, and they
No,
won't be this year either.
My boyhood club. I've always wanted to play with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, City rarely make mistakes anyway. that's what we're coming to.
No, that was my point. We don't make these mistakes. Not
No.
long term anyway.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, man. Right, cool. That was a good show, man. A bit longer than normal. Big up to you guys in the chat. Tone, Martin, you got anything else for us, bro? Before we wrap up, any ITK information, boys?
Yeah, we're buying Messi. Watch your clock. About 10 o'clock, hour to go. Messi's coming.
We're going to do a space, but there's not to talk about.
Yeah, we were going to. Yeah. There's literally would just be. There's nothing. No.
We're doing there's a space tomorrow, isn't there? Post match.
Yeah, you at the game, are you, West Ham?
No, I'm not.
Okay, right. Okay, then in that case, yeah, we'll try and sort an hour.
Post match for me at 9:30. Tomorrow, I think that's it. And then, that's it. No, but there's nothing. There's no news. You might get the McAtee contract announced today. Maybe. I don't know.
Not the only one coming up, of course. There are a few in the works.
Well, needed as well. We need to get those contracts done. Yeah. Right. Sweet. Big up to you guys in the chat. Make sure you're smashing a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Over 600 people still watching, but we've only got 300 likes. So please hit a thumbs up on the stream on the way out. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel as well. We start our new quest to 25k. We'll go for that's our next target. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to Mancunian Way.
I'm just trying to get a 5k.
Yeah, exactly, man. Guys, make sure you guys
are subscribing to
Mancunian Way. Link is in the description. Martin always does like these mad panel shows as well, which is pretty cool. Go check them out. Obviously, Tone's on Twitter at MCFC Tone. I'll be back later on with another one. I've got a video out on the second channel calling Raheem Sterling a snake. Yeah, cooking that guy. So go check that out. More LP. Links in the description. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Take care.